Welcome to Coach's Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi. To my right, the Swami, George Abraham. To my left, the Tiger, Albert Campman. Let's go to Spotlight. What is this? High school week 7, 8? I've lost track.
Going the last week.
Going the last week.
Yeah,
All right.
So.
Let's go rushing. What a year this kid's having. Amos Glenn of Freeport rushed for 206 yards, 4 touchdowns. On the season, he has 985 and 19 touchdowns. Kenny Jewell, Beaver Falls, 160. Max Gallagher, Union, AC Valley, 150. That gives him 1,032 on the year. Thomas Henry, Rochester, 143. Richard Curitan, Bellwood City, 143. Aiden Yoakum of Mars, 127. On the season, he has 1,605 yards rushing and 16 touchdowns. Nico Bajetta of Butler, 112. Marino Graham of Newcastle, 111. Mason Holler of Riverside, 111. And Xavier Clark of Beaver Falls, 108. Passing, Aaron Strader. This kid's really good. Pine Richland, 223. I think he's only a sophomore. Tyler Smiley of Elwood City, 189. They have a nice 1-2 punch here offensively.
Decent. Mm-hmm.
Joey Felitsky, North Catholic, 161. That gives him 2,095 on the season. Aiden Gatus of Riverside, 150. Colin Urasinic of Mars, 145. That puts him over 1,000 on the season. Nico Bajetta of Butler, 122. That gives him 1,244 on the season. And Marino Graham of Newcastle, 114. He had 225 total for the game, and Bajetta had 234. I think Graham almost every week has made the double-double.
Mm-hmm. Freshman, too.
Yeah, a freshman at that. Receiving, Jay Timmons of Pine Richland, 7 for 148. Khalil Taylor, Pine Richland, 6 for 106. Dom Hogue, Elwood City, 6 for 180. We have to get up here next year and do a game. We haven't been up here for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Preston Simcoe, North Catholic, 5 for 82. On the season, how about these stats? He's caught 30 passes for 634 yards. Heath Borgo, Hampton, 5 for 51. And Gabe Hine and Mars, 3 for 45. He's caught 44 on the season for 629. Girls volleyball. Match we did here. You could watch it. It was terrific. Butler 3, or NA 3, Butler 2, NA 12 and 2, Butler 9 and 9. Bryn Cornaby of Butler, she had 10 kills. That put her over 500 on her career. Ashlyn Tossadori of Butler and Raina Lewandowski, they each had 16 kills apiece. And for NA, we don't have all the stats, but Molly Robertson going to Penn State, she was terrific. Alicia Makube and Paige Shanahan, George, did they not rule the middle of that net with so many blocks? And Karina Schiller, she come out. She had to have at least a dozen or more kills.
Oh, yeah. And there are a lot of young girls.
And then for North Allegheny, there's a Section 2 4A champs. They're the number 1 seed in the playoffs for the 9th straight year.
You know what's interesting, but as you guys described the game, Butler must be dangerous, though.
But then
the record's 9-9, but they sound like they're dangerous.
But the next match, they lost 3-0 to Pine Richland.
That's what I'm saying.
They're very talented, are they not, George?
They look pretty good that night, for sure.
So North Allegheny looking for their 11th WPIAL title, and they're 6th in the last 8 years.
They line up a lot of girls. I know that because I wanted to see them. They're clapping like crazy on the sideline. They got
the roster is this long.
You know, last year they won their 8th straight state title.
I'll tell you something right there.
Yeah. Hey, Mars 3 and Knock 1. Riley Woldridge, she's had a terrific year. She had 25 kills. And how about this? I never heard of a stat like this. Gabby Wiedemann had 51 assists.
That's a lot.
That's crazy.
That's how you win. Because that means you score a lot of points. Jeez, oh man. You know, going back 8 straight state titles.
Yeah.
No, that's almost impossible. How can that be?
Now, I don't know whether it's WP. I think it's with the state. I think Bethel Park is a little bit ahead of them.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't. There's something with Bethel Park with WPIAL or state championship. They're the only team ahead of NA.
They seem like they win every year.
Freeport 3, Hampton nothing. So that set up a Section 2 3A battle between Mars and Freeport for the conference championship, and Mars won 3-0. Woldridge came in with 17 kills, and Cecilia Christie with 11 kills, and so Mars becomes the Section 2 3A champs.
You know, I hear 3-0.
Yeah,
I think there's a major difference in the teams.
I would agree with you.
That's what I think. I don't mean it's true, but usually it goes to 5 if you're seriously section champs for both ways.
Hey, boys soccer 2A, North Catholic Section 1 2A champs, and in 3A, Mars defeated Shaler 2-1. And for Coach Chris Knopf, congratulations on his 300th career win. And field hockey number 1 3A WPIAL seed is Pine Richland, 15-3 on the season, 12-0 section champs. For Coach Donna Stevenson, they're looking for a 6th straight WPIAL title and 8th overall.
You know, I'm gonna have to do some research here. You remind me. I like to know how many field hockey teams there are in the WPIAL. I'm gonna look that up.
Well, I know.
I'd be interested to see that.
I Mount Lebanon, Upper St. Clair. Who else has one? I think Shaler has one.
So not many. In other words, you're saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Bethel Park, Norwin. No, but then out east, there's
a lot more over there.
Ton of them, right? And that's where Pine Richland does well, and then they advancing in the state playoffs against those eastern teams.
Like they're a little ahead.
They're a little ahead. Let's go to our football power rankings in 6A. Number 1, Central Catholic, 8-1. Number 2, Norwin, 6-3. And number 3 is NA, 7-2. Now, why did I drop NA down to number 3 in the game? I still can't wrap my head around it. Pine Richland, 67. North Allegheny, nothing. The worst defeat in school history. And it was no fluke as I watched the game. So much talent for Pine Richland, but NA just looked. I've never seen a game like this where they were totally overmatched.
We've never seen it.
No,
that's for sure. In my lifetime, there might have been something when NA first started their school, but they usually do it to other teams. This is a taste they never had before.
So both teams come into the game with a 7-1 record, both with losses to Central Catholic in really competitive games. I thought this would be a really
I watched it. I
couldn't.
couldn't.
It was hard to understand, right?
Couldn't believe it.
You'd have. I wonder what the Fox Chapel AD, can he fix this with his computer rankings?
Oh, my God.
Wow. Hey, Pine Richland is so good. They are so talented, and they're a young team.
They're dominant. I mean, you see a score like that.
Yeah. Hey, in 5A, of course, it's Pine Richland 8-1, followed by Peters Township undefeated. Woodland Hills, they are really good. Penn Trafford and Moon. It'll be interesting to see can Peters Township or Woodland Hills stack up against Pine.
We always say 5A is tough.
Yeah.
You know, that's a really good conference in all sports.
Woodland Hills is really good.
Oh, yeah. They can be so
Peters Township.
There's a priest that the Peters kids all go to his service. I know him, and I always tease him like he prays for him before. When they went to 1 week to the state title, they just got housed. I said, Father, did you quit praying? What happened?
Yeah.
He said, I think I ran out of inspiration.
Hey, in 4A, surging to the top is McKeesport, followed by Newcastle, really having a great year, 7-2, Mars 7-2, Montour 6-3, and Aliquippa 5-3. Is Aliquippa's star is back? Come back?
No, he's gone. Counsel's done for the year. The quarterback's done. How about McKeesport raising their level like crazy?
Yeah,
just tearing people apart. Yeah.
No, that kid's healthy, isn't he?
Yeah, it has something to do with it.
I saw him limping on the sideline about game 2. I thought they better get him back.
3A, Avonworth at the top, undefeated Imani Christian, then Elizabeth Forward, Southmoreland, and Freeport in there.
There's that of all the 6 classifications, Imani Christian and Avonworth in that final is going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be a game to watch. It'll be a game you want to see.
Yes.
In 2A, it's South Allegheny undefeated, followed by St. LaSalle, Washington, Western Beaver, and Karn City in there 7-2. You know, Karn City defeated Punxsutawney. Punxsutawney come into the game 8-0, undefeated. One of their wins earlier in the season was over Karn City, and Karn City paid them back and knocked them out of the undefeated ranks.
Well, we're going to find out how good Karn City is this week. They play Wilmington.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, because Karn City throws the ball, runs the ball, either both. Wilmington just takes it and runs it down your throat.
All right, Wilmington, they're 1A, are they not? Or are they 2A?
No, they're 1A.
They're 1A, that's what I thought.
No, but that's where they play. I'm finding out how good Karn City is. That's what I'm saying.
There's another place we have to get back to. And then 1A, it's Fort Cherry, undefeated, 9-0. Clareton, Laurel, Bishop Canevin, Southside, Union AC Valley, and I forgot to get Wilmington.
Yeah, they're in there. Yeah,
they're in there.
Yeah, their losses are Hubbard and Farrell. I mean,
what's that? You know anything about high school football?
No, they ended on like the 17 out, didn't they, against Hubbard? I mean, Farrell, it's a different world.
So next year, Carn City will be at Wilmington because Wilmington's at Carn City this year. So we'll get that on our slate.
McLaren Fort Cherry is another doozy. They'll meet in the finals too.
Oh,
That's
terrific.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Let's go to our stories of the week. In the NFL, Cincy 33, the Steelers 31. The Steelers defense, the big O's, not the big O Oscar Robertson, overrated and overpaid on their defense, and no one stood out in that game. I can't see anyone on that defense you'd say, man, they played a good game. How about the Bengals? Put up 470 total yards, and Joe Flacco looked like he was in a rocking chair. 31 of 47, 342, 3 TDs, no interceptions. The Bengals come into this game, guys, the last in rushing in the NFL, averaging 57.
That was the key, Eddie.
they could not run the ball all year. They ran all over them.
You know what their average was? 2.7. You could do better.
I know. They fell forward for
They averaged 6.2 yards of rush against
Glad
the Steelers.
you brought it up, Eddie, because that was the key to the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cincinnati's going to throw the ball. They'll throw some interceptions. That's how they play. They ran the ball down Pittsburgh's throat.
I don't know what Zach Taylor does, but the last 3 games against the Steelers, he's beaten them twice. They've averaged 26 points a game and about 400 yards a game. He knows something about the Steeler defense. Now, what's his name? Jamar Chase said we knew everything they were going to do. And how about the Steelers defensive backs? They said they're itching for a return. I got news for you guys. The Bengals receivers are looking for
that number return. 1 for them, Ditchy, too, because he knows.
He just cut another pass today.
Oh, my God. How about he cut across the middle, and you look, and you try to wonder who was covering him. There's nobody near him.
Jamar Chase, a record for him, 16 catches, 161 yards. And Higgins caught 6 for 97. Was it 22
They
for
couldn't
2?
stop anything. Pittsburgh couldn't stop a thing.
Unbelievable. Now, for the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, he had a decent game. 23 of 34, 249, 4 TDs, but 2 picks. Now, the one was a bad throw. The other one was a great Turner ripped the ball out of Metcalf's hands. That was a huge play,
It's a big play
defensively. But when I say he threw 4 touchdowns, 2 to Freiermuth, 1 to Washington, and one to the other tight end, where's the wide receivers?
They were out of this game. But they scored enough points to win, though, Eddie.
No question.
This was a defensive.
No question. Yeah, the Steeler defensive backs, Ramsey and Porter and Slay, they were no match. And Porter, his last 2 games against Cincy, 8 penalties. What's that? A penalty a quarter. So
yeah.
I wish he would stop complaining. How about does he watch films to see how he grabs?
When I watch the Steelers play, Eddie, I know within the first 3 series how it's going to go. They live and die with one thing: their pass rush, and they did not get near Flacco.
No.
And if you don't, because the secondary's only average, their linebackers are only average. But when they win, like they did against Cleveland the game before, they rushed the passer. They weren't near Flacco the whole game.
Watt had 1 tackle.
He's not doing anything.
Now, you know how bad the Ravens' defense is? Now, listen to this stat. This is from Ray Fittipaldo. The Ravens' defense has given up in the 6 games with the Steelers, matched them only 23 more yards than what the Steelers have given up.
Oh, yeah.
Steelers have given up 375 a game.
And they're make so much of the salary cap. Their percentage is the highest in the league.
Yeah. And now let's go up next for the Steelers. They take on Green Bay 4-1-1 Sunday night. The Packers favored by 3. How do you see this game?
It's the NFL, not for long. So
you can't.
Everybody going. If they see to watch the Steelers play last game, they'd say, "How can?" You? But Green Bay sure didn't like the field up against Arizona either.
No.
But Arizona's not all that bad. They're not all that bad.
Oh, no, I didn't say they were, but every game is like that.
And the other thing too with Pittsburgh, they have a history of playing poorly on Thursdays. They have a history of playing well on Sunday night.
You know what their record is on Thursdays against their conference opponents?
I did.
0-9.
Yeah, I know.
0-9.
Well, that tells you it's worse than bad. Geez.
So let's see. But Green Bay, do they have the offensive line? Or are they going to be able to? They have to be thinking we're going to run the ball.
They mix it up. Green Bay mixes up. They play the way the NFL play. They play action a lot. Try to draw the linebackers up.
And Love's not an easy guy.
Green Bay's really good defensively, though.
No, very good.
Defensively.
What's his name had a big game. Mike,
Yeah,
You had
Parsons,
yeah,
did.
three sacks.
Uh-huh.
So we look at the AFC North. The Steelers 4-2, and I know Roger said, "Hey, we're still in first place." But Aaron, here's the thing: you're 1-1 in the conference. The Bengals 3-4. They're 2-0. So any kind of tie, they get the advantage, and that means the next time they play, that's a must-win for the Steelers.
Bengals are going to lose a lot of games. Their
No,
defense.
Bengals-
Bengals are going to lose. I don't. Their defense is.
Well, it'd be a shocker they lose this week to the Jets.
Well, they could lose to the Jets.
They could lose to the
Oh,
Jets.
yes, they could.
Oh, the Jets.
how bad are the
I'm not
Jets?
sure.
I'm not sure.
Jeez.
They're
What?
favored by four and a half.
No, think about it. They haven't won since Joe Namath, and they don't have. They're the only team in the league without a win.
Playing so poorly.
And this is a scary thing for Pittsburgh. They put 30 on the
they
Steelers.
should have
32.
that day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Cleveland's 2-5. They battered Miami 31-6. Up next, they're at New England. New England favored by 7. Baltimore 1-5. They're at home. They're favored by 6.5 over the 4-2 Bears.
Well, everybody has the Ravens.
Because Lamar's
elevated.
coming back.
Yeah, but they say he's not sure coming back. He hasn't practiced yet. That's what
Okay.
yes.
Well,
All right.
if he's not there, that line tells you he's
He
playing.
is. Yeah, it does.
I would think so.
Yeah, it
and well, I got everything wrong about college football, Penn State and Clemson.
Oh, my.
One thing we did get right, and we said that New England, Denver, and the Bears could be our surprise teams, and the Bears are looking good.
Bears will play 4 in a row.
Playing real well. Real well.
Let's go to our power rankings. You guys tell me what you think. I have Indy at the top, 6-1. They're at home by 12 over terrible Tennessee. I've vaulted Kansas City to number 2. They're 4-3. Why? Because I think they're the best balanced team both sides of the ball.
I had Kansas City won, so that's how good they're playing.
And then here's a team no one's talked about. I've really elevated them, and that's the Rams. Their defense is
Playing
nasty.
great.
Really tough defense.
Yeah. I've dropped the Eagles down to number 4. The Rams have a bye. The Eagles are at home. They're favored by 10 over the Giants,
Oh,
who may not recover from that blowout.
I agree.
you
That was
can't.
heartbreaking.
No, that lasts.
How do you give up 33 points in one quarter?
No, I watched it. It was 25 with 8 minutes.
26-8 with 5 minutes to go.
How do you do that?
And 19-0 going
I'll
into
tell you how
the
you
fourth
do. You
quarter.
throw the ball. They threw the ball, and they shouldn't have thrown it. Just run the ball, punt it, and they win the game.
But not for long. That's not for long for that coach after he blew
Right.
that game.
He's gone. And, he's the guy that chased the doc into the medical tent, too.
I have Detroit number 5, a big win last night. They look good. Number 6, Green Bay. They're at the Steelers. Buffalo, I've dropped them down to number 7. They're at the Panthers and favored by 7. Why have I dropped them? Their run defense is just
Stinks.
It's what's prevented them from making a Super
Well, that
Bowl.
Dowdle will run on him, and that Dowdle
Yeah,
will run on
yeah.
him.
Carolina's
man.
playing good football,
Yes,
too.
yes.
Here's Denver. They went into that game with maybe the best defense in the NFL, and I was surprised.
They're
the way
lucky
that-
to win.
They,
Very lucky to win.
they were lucky to win, but
I
they're
mean
5-2.
lucky. I call it luck.
Yeah. They're at Dallas, and they're favored by 4.5. That'll be an interesting game.
It'll be a high scoring game anytime you play Dallas. Jeez.
And New England 5-2. They've really come on. They're doing great, and they are at home against Cleveland, and they're favored by 7.
That's a New England line, the way they're playing. That's why. Like you said, they're playing good.
I have a log jam at number 10. I have Tampa Bay. They lost, but they're at the Saints. They're favored by 5.5. And then Chicago with that game with Baltimore, and then I have Seattle in there. They're 5-2.
You have
and
them
they
too
have a
low.
bye.
They're too low.
You like Seattle higher?
I watched their defense last night. I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
It
So
is a nasty
yeah.
defense.
I mean, where would you like to put them?
7-8,
You put them ahead of Buffalo.
right there.
Okay, that's a good point. Let's go to college football. Penn State fires James Franklin after a 3-3 start. They lose to Oregon, and then unprecedented, first time ever in NCAA history, where a ranked team losing back-to-back games to 20-point-plus underdogs as they lost to UCLA and Northwestern, and then under interim coach Terry Smith, they lost to Iowa 25-24. George, we talked before. How much of an input has Adidas had in this move?
We talked to Jay Paterno Saturday, and there's some belief that they put up a piece of that money. They wanted him out of there.
Now, I'm no Penn State or Franklin fan, but he was 104-45 in 11 years at Penn State.
Yeah.
He made them solid. He didn't make them elite because he's 4-21 against ranked teams and just 4-17 against Ohio State and Michigan, but 34 wins the last 3 years.
Yeah, it's what you do lately, and they don't care how many wins. Every week, some people are getting fired. I mean, coaches are getting fired. What have you done for me now?
How many this season? 6, 7?
And I guarantee the Penn State alumni were donating money. We're ringing off the phone, telling, "Hey, get them out of here."
Let's say this: is their fan base delusional?
Very. Now, they haven't been elite since the 1980s. They won 2 championships in 82 and 86. They were undefeated in 94, but finished second to Nebraska. And then, in the early part of this century, they had, 4 losing seasons in their first 5 or 6 years. They're just, now they owe him.
There's a big butt there, though.
Yeah.
I mean, gigantic.
Moving into the Big Ten.
No. They were in the semifinals last year. Had Notre Dame beat. They should have been they should have been
right.
That's what they were, and this team was coming back.
Yes.
So that's what they're looking at. I said, wait a minute. We should have played for the national championship last year.
I had them in Clemson in there. Clemson's 3 and 4.
And the other thing, too, high school sports. I've seen a million times where a team will make a run as juniors, and everybody will figure automatically, well, they have all those guys back. Doesn't fire.
Well, they owe him $49 million. I think they pay him $1 million a month. His yearly salary was $7 million. That could be reduced if he takes
He's going to take a job.
Oh yeah, he's going to take a job, and see that'll come off. So but I think one of those stipulations is supposedly he's looking.
Yeah, well, that'll help out Penn State because they just closed 7 branch campuses. They're losing money, pouring a ton of money into the
Eddie,
stadium.
Penn State shenanigans.
I think Al or however you say his
name,
is the key to this whole thing. They raised him up way higher than I ever saw.
Oh my!
I never saw him.
And you make a good point, and I'll add this to it. They raised him up to the level that they neglected the running game with 2 of the best running backs in the country.
Yes, that's true.
And once they paid him, Prabula was expendable, and I think they picked the wrong guy. I really do.
I agree with you, George.
I think they picked the wrong guy.
And here's my point of corruption of college athletics. The president of the University of Penn State, Neely Bendapudi, I think I got her name right.
It's close enough.
She makes $1.4 million. She was highly criticized for that.
I told her that's nothing.
They brought in a new defensive coordinator from Ohio State.
$3 million.
What they give him? $3 million.
Yeah.
It's just a level, and there's more to come here in terms of coaches being fired.
They're going down.
Brian Kelly's next.
But wait a minute. When you trade that, you're making $11 million per. I don't think that the leash is that long anymore.
No.
The days of give you 5 years to rebuild with that portal, they're going.
And AD Pat Kraft, she said, I guess he had, whoever he is, that Smith is a candidate for the job. He's not. I think Matt Rule, they worked together at Temple.
That'd be a bad hire, too.
He got blown out by Minnesota.
That's a bad hire.
He's 74 and 85 as a career coach. Forget Kurt Signetti Jr. He just signed an 8-year, $94 million.
Oh, did he take advantage of that?
Yeah. Now, hey, you want to come to Penn State and coach? Here's all I'm going to say. Within your first 3 to 5 years with this fan base, delusional. You better beat Ohio State. You better beat Michigan. You better win a national championship.
But they have the facilities, though, to do it. They'll pay the players. They have everything in place to do it. So some big name's going to take that.
You know what? When you're compared to Ohio State and Michigan in your own league, that's not mentioning Oregon, Southern Cal. Now you look nationally, you got Texas, Georgia, Alabama. Just keep naming them.
Notre Dame competing, recruiting.
They're in pretty high cotton there, and they're not satisfied.
Now you look further on, like Texas A&M paid Jimbo Fisher $76 million on a buyout. Kirby Smart of Georgia makes $13 million a year, and Day at Ohio State makes $12.5 million.
They don't even think about money anymore.
No.
I mean, like to us, to me, it's crazy. But to them, we're gonna pay you. Go get players.
Life-changing
go win.
Money. You better win.
Now, I think LSU owe Brian Kelly a ton. Same thing with Florida State.
Norvell's gone.
Mike Norvell.
Sure, yes.
He lost his Stanford.
I thought he'd be gone this week. I was surprised.
Luke Fickell's gone at Wisconsin.
Should be.
Back-to-back losses of 71
that
blowout.
tells you Franklin will get a job.
For sure.
Right?
I think he'd be the prime candidate for Oklahoma State.
For sure.
Man, that's a oof.
Well,
Is that the best he can do? For
I think he's getting Florida or Florida State. That's what I think.
He'll do fine there.
all right,
He's
let's
recruiting.
go. The Pitt Panthers. They're 5-2, 3
Yes.
straight wins, beating Boston College, Florida State, and Syracuse with new quarterback Mason Heinzel. What do you guys think about him?
Well, the thing we're talking about, George and I were talking about, why wasn't he playing before? And I'll tell you, the only reason it had to be the money.
Right there.
It had to be money they were paying the other
He was
quarterback.
making over a
No,
million.
they're giving Eli $2 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That $2 million said, okay, Eli, you got a job. But then Heitzel said, Coach, I'm better than him.
Yeah.
Finally, when
Hey.
they lost that game, it was the best thing that happened to them. When they lost that game, those couple games they lost, hey, we got to get him out of there.
Hey, West Virginia fans, they used to say in Brooklyn Dodgers, wait till next year. We may have to say to you, wait for a couple of years because this is one of the worst West Virginia teams.
Pitt should be embarrassed to have lost to them with
Yeah,
that.
really.
And you know, you had
They get blown out every week.
They had a 17-point lead on Louisville. You know that. Think about that. That could be
Tells you how
7-0.
good Pitt is. Tells you how good Pitt is.
Pitt
Yeah.
could easily be 7-0, but they're really playing well now. But West
This
Virginia,
kid,
they
this
are
kid's
just
a difference.
they
maker.
are just terrible.
One thing
Oh.
about college football, though, quick, like Indiana did it. If
Yeah.
you go out and get players,
Yeah.
it'll turn around instantly.
Well, he brought in 73 new
I
players.
think but players they didn't want, though. I think he just had to fill his roster.
Yeah.
You know, it's,
I don't think does West Virginia have that kind of money?
I don't know that. They
No.
love their football, though.
No, I think to save money, they cut out their literature program.
Yeah.
They love their football team.
A Slippery Rock, number 24 Rock, stays alive for a playoff spot. Coming back, trailing 20-10.5 against IUP. The Rock came back and defeated them 30-27. So Slippery Rock now 5-2, 2-2. They have to win out the rest of the way to have any chance. Quarterback Daewon Owens, 183 yards, and they have a terrific running back, J.J. Jordan, rushed for 99 yards, and wide receiver John Sabo from nearby Slippery Rock High School.
Yeah.
Caught 3 for 58. They have a bye coming up, and then they take on Clarion.
Tells you how good the league is.
Oh,
Slip Rock's really good.
Yeah.
That league's
they
good.
beat a good team in IUP.
Oh,
Their
yeah.
their quarterback's
yeah.
a transfer from Boston
Yeah.
College.
Hit and ambushed them somehow.
Hey, guys, I want to mention this before we stop. Slippery Rock has hired All-American track and field star Jordan Geis to be their new throws coach. He'll join his parents, Jim and Judy, who are volunteer coaches for the same
How about
event.
that?
Yep,
Nice.
great for him. That's it for us. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Great customer care isn't a bonus, it's the backbone. At Armstrong, we believe fast internet is only as good as the people behind it. We continually invest in our network to take care of our customers and keep them connected. Armstrong support is free, local, and always available. Fiber fast internet reinforced by friendly first service. We're proud of our reputation for customer care, and we earn it every day. Internet you can count on, the people you trust. That's Armstrong.